Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you'd please type in the number 1 in the comments box in that chat section to let me know that you can, I would greatly appreciate it. Nothing worse than talking to myself for the next half hour or so. And as you're doing so, make sure to give a nice warm welcome back to Sean. He made it back to us safely and soundly from his vacation there. So we're excited to have him back, which is why you saw that nice screen this morning. They've had a countdown instead of me just jumping in and going, hello. And all of a sudden I'm in your face, right? Morning, everybody. Thank you. And as we get ready to get started here, keep in mind, everything we look at is for educational purposes only. Nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. And if you like what you see, make sure you follow us, not only on the social platforms that we're streaming on, but make sure you're following us on the other platforms. Sean does an amazing job of getting social content out there for me every single day on the various platforms. So we want to make sure that, that you guys capture all that when you can. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the futures. Ah, yes, that wonderful sound that the futures are here. So the ES is up 50 cents. The Dow is down $1. The NASDAQ's up 25. The RUT and the NASDAQ's up 25, big part in one company, which is Tesla. The RUT is up $1.50. Bitcoin is down $15. We're still above 30,000 on Bitcoin. Ethereum is up $7. Gold is down 2. And crude, drum roll, 122.16. So we're holding it, guys. We're holding it. We pulled back nicely yesterday to 119, rocked back up, and then right through the early European market, we started to drop, and we've climbed back up a little bit again. But overall, it has been a strong move on crude. So they're saying national average. I wrote it down. JP Morgan, I heard it yesterday. JP Morgan said $6.20 national average come August, right? By August. So to me, I take that as August 1. But it's going to be interesting, that is for sure. Let's go take a look at some candidates from yesterday that we took, or some trades rather from yesterday. And let's go ahead and have you guys drop your trades in there. Remember, what is this all about? It's all about community. It's all about sharing. It's helping others see. If you were here yesterday, you saw the trade that I took yesterday was AMD, right? Why is that so important? Well, it wasn't on my list. It came off of your list of candidates that you guys wanted me to look at. It was actually Trip that had dropped that in there. So go ahead and drop in the trades you did. Funded, not funded, doesn't matter. Win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. What matters is you're out there and you've got a little record, a document of, however you want to call it, of you entering that stuff in here and sharing it with others, so they can go check out what you didn't see. What did they miss? Should they have done this, not done this? Does it fit their risk profile? Should they start doing this type of trade, and so forth, right? So with that, for me, we had a lot of candidates, and a lot of what we had yesterday worked. We had some pullbacks. You had to deal with some heat, but a lot of them worked yesterday. But I got very tunnel visioned, hyper focused, all on one candidate, and that's Roku. And the reason for that is Roku is on our power option plays list. And I told you, if there's a stock like, and trade, and I tell you about a credit spread, if you understand the movements of that stock and how it works, not someone you think you know, I'm talking about someone that you understand that stock, right? Then go ahead and you can trade directionally on that trade. The news on Roku yesterday was, maybe we're going to be bought out, hopefully by Netflix. It's believed to be an employee rumor. We don't know for sure or not, but that news drove it up and kept it up yesterday. If we look at Roku, right, that news popped that puppy up, gap up on the open, and then it just rocked. Woo! Just took off, right, and just kept going, and it finally settled off in the middle of the day, but it just had a great run in the morning there. So 2 trades on Roku. The very first one was the credit spread, because I said, and I quote, bull put spread below 88. Okay. So we did the 88.89 on the bull put spread. We're able to get 30 cents, 10 cents to get out of the trade by the end of the day. So nice setup there, 20 cents. I'll take it on a $1 spread all day long. That's a 25% rate of return. That's only 20 cents. It's only 25%. Better on a rate of return than you do on the S&P, 10 out of 11 years, that's better than what you do on the S&P. Every once in a while, you'll get a misfit that comes there better than 25% on the S&P. But overall, great setup, right? Second one came in, So we got the open, right? We got the nice move up. I did look at pivot points to see where we were on Roku for pivots. We broke through. We had a really nice, if I broke it down to a 1 minute candle, it was a really nice bunch of wicks in there that had broke through and then the move up. It was a really nice setup. I did not use the upper pivot point as an exit. I was watching my moving averages, right? And we just maintained above the 8 moving average the entire time, right? It's easier to see it here. We just maintained above the 8 moving average, right? We had a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of heat to deal with, nothing big. We pulled back, and you could see it happening here. You could tell, I could tell. Why? Because I know Roku. I know its pattern. It was running out of steam. It had bumped its head right near this topping pattern, which was a big move, an exhaustion move, and a fail, right? We got that bounce from there, and we only made it back up really to that level. A little pops above it, but nothing great. Kind of got this sort of rounding top pattern in there. And then when we broke in the middle of this candle, we had already broken once before. We broke in the middle of this candle, 11.05. So we got in around $6, got out about 9.5. So it was about $3.50 move on Roku. If I held on, could I have done a little better? Yeah, we could have gotten it up to, it was like $11.5, $12 or so was the high of the option hit yesterday. But I don't care about that, right? The pattern worked, the trade setup worked. That's all I care about, right? Again, funded, non-funded, it doesn't matter, folks. Drop those trades in and let's see what you did. So yesterday, woohoo! Home run on Roku, baby. I will take it all flipping day long. Let's see. So Erica said, when I'd like to refer a friend to the One Trade Away Challenge. When does the next class start? So actually, Erica, there's no more live on it. They're all the recorded sessions. So it starts now. It starts every Monday is when that person gets in. There is a very important reason that they would want to start sooner rather than later. All right. And that is because we put on the 16th, which is next Thursday, right here, One Trade Away Challenge Q&A. Anybody that has been in a One Trade Away Challenge or is in a current One Trade Away Challenge, and we've got a couple hundred people are going to be in this live training we do. I'm just doing a Q&A for everybody. So if your friend joins it, they get to come into this training and they can ask any of the questions as well. Like I have a neighbor who their son is in One Trade Away Challenge, and he was asking, so I've got some questions. I'm a little nervous on opening a brokerage account. What do I do, right? So I can answer some of those basic questions, but I'm hoping also we're going to get some really good, strong, technical strategy type questions from the students, which I expect we will, that we can cover also inside of there, right? So it starts every week. So she or he is ready to rock on right now. Let's see. Frankie B said AMD put 33%, scaled out. Trip put in AMD again yesterday. Robert said TTD and Apple bull put spreads still in the trades. All right. Roku, 85% spreads on SLV and FXI. Nice. 85%, Erica. That is awesome. Alan said NVIDIA, good, call good. NVIDIA put, meh. Wheels of the market go chop, chop, chop. It happens, right? Robert said Baba, bull put spread 2 times soon after the open, another an hour into the day. Both worked well. Nice. Great job, Robert. Don't you love just double dipping on the same stock? It's like I slapped you once, market maker, ha ha, and then you came back and did it again, right? I love it. Good job, everybody. Congrats on those. So with that, let's go take a look at today's trades. All right, built my list out this morning. BILI, Billy, is the very first one, right? And let's see what's going on with them. They had earnings. Billy right now is down $3.50. So let's bring that puppy in a little bit, maybe a little too much. There we go. So they're sitting at $26.18. So they broke that $28 level. We're above that $25.51. So what's going on? If you look at the moving averages, our bias is bullish. It's not true bull, but it's bull. What does that mean? The averages are not in the right order. The right order would be the pink line on top. That's the 8. The green line in the middle, that's the 21. And the red line on the bottom, that's the 55. We are pink, red, green. So we've got 2 of them mixed up in there. It's not like this. It's kind of like this, right? It's in the wrong place. With that being said, we still are in a bullish bias, enough to take an aggressive trade directionally, but our bad news hasn't driven it down that much. So for me, I'm going to say next. right? The most important word a trader can ever learn, next. It's not about finding good trades. It's about getting rid of the bad ones. Unless this is giving me great setup, I'm not interested in it. NEO is number 2 on the docket. They were also earnings. They're down $1.65 to $18.73. And look what's going on. We are in the same scenario that we just were with Billy, right? Meaning the 8's above the 55, and then the 21 is down there. Wrong order, but bullish bias. All right. Right now at 1880, we're right at 1860 is the 8 moving average. We're right at the 8 moving average. So what are we doing there? Do we really want to go and fight that bullish move with that bearish news where it only drove it down to a support level? The answer is no. Next on that one. All right. Shopify, SHOP. Let's see. Bring that down a little bit. Let me get everything in there. Okay. So Shopify, the CEO was granted additional voting rights by shareholders. In other words, they said, take the control of the company out of the shareholders' hands and give it to the CEO. And the shareholders had to vote on this, and they did, and they voted in the CEO's favor, which is something he'll never have to give back unless him or another CEO decides they want to put it up on the docket. But it won't happen, right? Unless the board decides to do it again. With that, Shopify was up in pre-market. So let me go ahead and grab this. Right? Shopify was up on that news, right? Pink and blue bars are the pre and post market. We're up here at 396. Right now, we're down at 390, right? 389 on this next candle, right? So we've given, $6, almost $7 back on that. So that news did not sustain very long on Shopify. The key is going to be, where is it? Right now, we're at 389. All right. So where does that put us? It puts us below the 380, above the 383 and the 373. So we are below the 400, above the 21 moving average, which is green. That's the key one there, right? But we are overall in that neutral bias. We can, if this does sustain bearish, we can take it that way. So we're going to look at a bear call spread below 400, right? And if you can go below 411, will be better. I just don't think you'll get enough premium for it. As of right now, based on yesterday's numbers, 410 for let's see, bear call spread 410, 382. Well, you might, but it is $5 spread, so keep that in mind. But it's not bad. It's $1 as of yesterday. Numbers are going to change with the movement for today, but nothing crazy. It's only a $2.50 movement on a $400 stock. All right, next is SIG, S-I-G. So on SIG, they are down. What was their news? SIG was earnings, right? So Signet Jewelers is who it is. They were barely in a neutral bias. Right now, they are up 566 to 67.5. Where does that put me? That puts me up above the 66 level right here. So we're going to look for a bull put spread below 66, but we're going to do it aggressive. What does aggressive mean, Rob? So when we do an aggressive trade in power option plays, our normal trade, and we only do this based on ease of calculation, is 10. That's a normal trade for us. An aggressive trade is less. We chose 4 as the number of contracts. You could do 2 contracts as a trade and 1 contract as aggressive. You could do 100 contracts as a trade and 10 contracts as aggressive. You've got to pick your number. The whole idea is you still want to participate in the trade, but you don't want to go with a full lot in there. You want to do a smaller position size in there. In other words, if you're wrong, it went against you. It cost something, but you didn't get crushed. You didn't have a full, whatever X number of contracts is, 2, 5, 50, a million, whatever your number is. You didn't have that full contract out there, right? For us also, the other reason to take an aggressive trade is any stock over $1,000. And that's just based sheer on cost, right? When you're looking at a $100 option, I mean, think about this. If you've got a strike price, an option that's trading at $100, right, per share, right? If you have $100 per share and you need 100 shares in a contract, that's $10,000. If I do 10 contracts, I need $100,000 to do that trade, right? It's a little over the top for most, right? So we scale that down. Now, ironically, Google, Amazon, Tesla's not there any longer, but those three all have earnings splits coming up. Amazon, of course, did theirs. They'll have splits coming up, and that's going to dramatically mess with, when I say mess with it, I'll never have to worry on any of those companies about having to do an aggressive trade because they're not going to be back at that 1,000 for a while, right? They're going to stay down in that hundreds level, hopefully 300, 400, 500 is what I'd like to see Amazon back at. But for right now, it's about $1.25. So on SIG, we've got the bull put spread. All right, keep in mind we have three symbols left. So go ahead and drop your trades into the ones you want me to take a look at here today. Right, Target's in the news yet again. 3 days in a row they're on our list, but this time they increased the dividend, and it was I didn't think of it until it got announced. And maybe that's not why I'm not the CEO of Target, but I think it was a brilliant strategy to increase the dividend, give more money back to the shareholders, and try to have the shareholders hold off on selling the stock, right, and just holding on to that position. With that, they're flat. Well, they're now down 20 cents. They were up this morning, buck and a half or so on the announcement, but they're at 156.5. So the first thing I want to do is go back and check futures for a momentito. So we're down 12.70 and now 29 down on the NASDAQ, where we were up a little bit before. So everything on futures has rolled to the downside. So with that, the hiked dividend didn't help them, and traders like, yeah, I don't care. So 156.5. I'm going to look at a bear call spread above 160. Why 160? We got 158 there, Rob. Yep, but the 160 is the 8 moving average. And look, again, there's a phrase. I don't use it enough at this point, right? Because we do a lot of day trades, so it becomes less important. A swing trade, we've got to do this all the time. But it is critical in day trades as well. I do it. I just don't talk about it. And it is look left, right? Look at what's happened with the 8 moving average if we go to the left. It ran right into it. It failed right off it here. Wick, nothing there. Wick, drop down yesterday. Wick, that 8 is respected very well to the downside. So does that mean it's going to do that forever? No. But for right now, we've got an indicator that tells us it's a resistance level. So let's trade to the other side of that and increase our odds of being right in the trade, right? So with the 3 candidates, folks, remember, drop in the trades that you want me to take a look at. Drop your candidates in of what you want me to analyze for you. It's that last shot to get someone to look at them before the market opens today, right? And then Tesla, the darling out there, right? Tesla right now is up 15.5 to 741.5. They got an upgrade from UBS. I think Elon Musk playing hardball with Twitter has been a little, what's the word, wacky with what's going on. I think there's fear of what he's doing right now, and fear meaning of him pulling out of the deal. Twitter did agree today to turn over the records finally that they should have turned over earlier on, and they're using the excuse that he waived due diligence, so they didn't really have to turn the records over. But it looks like he's going to get what he wants, and I think you're going to find that he's right. There are a lot of fake Twitter accounts out there, a lot of bots that are working it, which he claims he wants to clean up, which will be great because I love Twitter. It just got too much of that stuff going on there. All right. Well, with that, if we're up $15 right now, that puts us at 740. Where does that leave us? Guys, that leaves us below that 746 level. So I like the move. I like it. $15, not bad, but we're bumping our head on ugly. There's a resistance in there. And that 746 is the 21 and the fib line. So we've got 2 critical areas in there. We're down below. We haven't hit it yet, but we haven't got through it yet. And with that, all the indicators are pointing to the downside. So here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a little bit of a longer plan. All right. The news that came out on it was bullish. Is it going to stay bullish today? I can't say. But here's what I will say. I'm going to look at a stock above 748 and retest 746. Okay, so move above to about 748, come back towards, doesn't have to hit it, towards 746 and bounce. And then we're going to do a bull put spread below 745. Right? Or let's see. What's the price of the 824? Or I want to see the stock below 722, retest the 724 8 moving average, and then we're going to do a bear call spread above 746, right, which is that same level right up in here. Okay, so you've got two things that could possibly happen today. What's the third thing? It does nothing. It just goes boom, flatlines, does nothing the rest of the day, stays within that range of moving average and resistance, and we don't get any breakout and we don't get a trade set up on it. And if that's the case, that's okay. Now, with that all being said, Tesla is on my power option plays. So for me, that's a candidate as I can trade calls and puts on that because I know the heartbeat, how it eats, breathes, sleeps, drinks. I know everything about Tesla as far as how its movements go. So I'm comfortable enough, even with news, to say, yes, I can confidently trade directionally on this because I know the stock. Can I do that on SIG? No. Target, Billy, Neo? Nope. I know them. I know the companies, but not intimately. We hung out a little bit, never really dated. All right. And that's the biggest thing to it. Okay. Let's see. All right. So that was Tesla. Last one is Twilio. There was coverage initiated on Twilio. I don't have who it was, so it wasn't importante. But they're down 77 cents to 107.62. And a lot of things have shifted right now because everything we had that was up is headed down. Actually, everything is down, including crude, which is okay. We're down 90 on the Dow, 15, 16 on the ES. Okay, on the S&P. So right now we're at 107.5. Where does that put us? 105, 106. So we're going to look at the stock below 105 and then a retest of the 108. Again, it doesn't have to get all the way up to it. Then a bear call spread above 109. So a lot of stuff has to happen for some of these trades today. And that's just the way some days pan out, folks, right? We deal with it. We take what we've got, right? But it's critical that you understand some of the mechanics behind exactly how things tend to move in these marketplaces, right? Actually, here, watch, check this out. Okay, this week, this Friday, mañana, tomorrow at noon, Ryan Litchfield. Guys, you only catch him once every couple of weeks teaching. He doesn't do a lot for us, and we're grateful for every class he does teach, right? But he's out there every couple of weeks teaching a class. It's called Coach's Playbook, Trading Coach's Playbook. And this is his round to do it. Ryan is an amazing trader. He's the co-author with Gregory Morris on his newest book that he's got out, which is a few years old now. But Ryan is the only person that's written anything new on candlestick charting. And it's all in relation to not just the candle pattern, but where does that pattern fall in relationship on the chart? Is it near support? Is it near resistance? Those are critical things in making that decision. Sean, if you would drop the links in, actually, you could just drop it in for Trading Like a Boss, right? And guys, you'll see Coach's Playbook right here. And then Tony's got a class coming up, the Pattern Whisperer, right? He's got a class coming up called Patterns Today. And there's a bunch of free resources on this page that you can take advantage of. So Sean's dropping those in for you. All right. With that, let's go ahead and check out the candidates that you guys want me to look at. Let me make sure I did not miss anything. I did. Okay, good. So Alan's asking for Home Depot bearish. So let me first, Alan, let's shift this over to all tickle symbols. All right, then let's go to Home Depot. All right, let me add it to TradeStation so I can get me an option chain. So right now, TradeStation's at $2.99 even, up $1.47, right? TradeStation. Home Depot is one of the candidates on power option plays. It is definitely in a bearish bias. It's sitting up at 299. Alan, don't you love it? This position is awesome. What's going on there? I have the 0 line on the fib. I have the $400 level, $300 level at the same place. I've got the 8. I've got the 21. There are 4 key elements as resistance right there. Think of this. Your ceiling has one piece of sheetrock on it. If you bang your head on it, you can break through it. It may hurt a little bit, but you can break through it fairly easy. Put 4 pieces of sheetrock on that ceiling, and good luck with a sledgehammer. All right? It's that much harder to get through. I'm not saying we're not going to ever break through it, but when all the stars are aligning and everything is there and it's giving you that strong resistance, we're going to take advantage of it. So I love the setup, Alan. We're looking at 289 as support. So we're going to be about $2 off of that level. So about 291, Alan, will be our target. So which gives you about $7 or $8 to the downside. Not bad for a Home Depot, right? I mean, not bad on a company that, look at this. Check this out. I can go buy an option on Home Depot right now, the right option. Let's see. I could buy the 71 Delta for $7.88. Right? Expires tomorrow, but I'm only in it for the day. I'm only in it for the day. If I don't get all of the move, if I can only get half of that $10 move in there, if I can only get $5, right? And I've got a 70 Delta, that's $3.50, $4 you're looking for the option move without Gamma having any play into it. Just pure Delta calculation, right? And we're not looking at massive spreads in there, right? 40, 50 cents, which is not horrible for a major stock like a Home Depot. So, Alan, I'm going to write that one down. Good trading plan, Alan. Appreciate you sharing out, everybody. Tripp's asking for NVIDIA. Let's see. Let's put it up on TradeStation. They're down $1.50 right now. So Tripp said, was it? Oh, no, my bad. Sorry. NVIDIA was Frankie. It was Frankie and then Tripp. I just mixed up the names. Excuse me. Sorry about that. A little tickle, a little dry in the air. NVIDIA closed 186.48, right? Retest the 236 and fail, which is the fib line it's sitting at right now. They're down to 185.25 right now. And fail. Okay, good. So I love the setup, Frankie. Absolutely. Keep in mind, you've got 8 and 21 right there. So you might want to wait for it to at least break through the 8, possibly through the 21 for the entry. Okay. And then Home Depot closed 297, retest the 0 line and fail. So let's look at the 0 line on it. We just did Home Depot, but let's look at that. So yes, this falls right into Alan's trade on there, Frankie. And the nice thing is the 0 line breakout is set up already. What do I mean by that? We've already made it down to the negative 136. We've already gotten down here. So this is the right potential as the entry for it. So 2 reasons behind why we would want to do it. Good job there. Tripp said no AMD today, but Micron looks like a 0 line breakout, either a 0 line either way. Okay. So we haven't made it down to the negative 136. So that's the only cautionary tale, Tripp, about the 0 line breakout component of trading it as a 0 line breakout. Doesn't mean we can't trade to the downside, but for me, I definitely would be looking at 66, not 65 as my support level. So I would be out somewhere above there. So it might tighten the range up a little bit. Where are we right now on it, by the way? Let's see. We're down 73 cents, 67.87. So if we're looking in here, Tripp, as support, let's say, and we're at 67.87. So we've got a little bit of room to the downside. We broke through. So we definitely have it. The upside, the nice thing, Tripp, is even though with bearish bias, if you can get a flip in the market and in the stock, you've got room all the way up to that 71. So there's a lot of opportunity in there. But I just keep my eye on that 66 level. I hope that helps. Let me know. IBM might be a B trade, Tripp said. IBM. So power option plays, we grade our trades, right? We look at our trades as A and B as far as entry and a C, but as far as entries go, C is not really a choice, right? We're not looking to take a C trade normally. So it might be a B trade. What do you think? All right. So IBM right now is down to 140.25. Let me unscrunch that. Okay. So it's down 140.25, which takes us right to the 8 moving average. So Trip, if we break the 8, retest and fail, 138 is support. If we push up above the 141, call it 142, retest and bounce, you got 144.85. So it is that bidirectional type trade where it's kind of sitting in the middle, right? So it's it definitely has some opportunity. You just got to look at markets and keep your eye on that 8. I hope that helps, Trip. Andres is asking for Apple. Apple, the apple of my eye, Andres. So let's see. Let's pull that out just a little bit more. Wiggle it. Just a little bit. All right. So now 147.70, 25 cents to the downside right now. So 147.70. Andres, my only problem is look at the moving averages. The 8 is about in the middle of these 2 fib lines. It makes it very difficult to the downside. Doesn't mean you can't trade it. You just really got to watch those levels. On the upside, if we could break the 149.37 bounce and go from there, 152.5 is resistance. So there's a little bit more room to the up than there is to the down. Let's see. Kevin's asking for GameStop for buying puts. GME. Let's get a bigger picture of it. Let's go over here and get a current quote. Prima cat. 139 even. They're up $27, 27 cents dollars. Although it could be GameStop is up $27. That's not an unheard of thing for them. They're in a bullish bias. Not true, but definitely bull. I like the 8 being on top as it is, right? Again, 21 and 55 are inverted, but they're really close to flipping over. If we can get that bounce, if you're comfortable with the bounce, Kevin, on a day like today when the markets are down, I mean, we did it yesterday. We bounced from the 139 all the way up to 153. I mean, we played perfect ping pong game in there yesterday. Right? So absolutely get me up to about 139.5, retest and bounce. And we're looking at about 151, 152 as target for the exit. So I like it a lot. Right? There you go, Trip. You appreciate it. Alan, not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. Yep, exactamundo. So, Sean, go ahead and drop that link into tradinglikeaboss.com again. Folks, go ahead and check out some of the trainings, but don't miss out on Ryan's training this week. And try to free up your calendar for Tony's patterns today. Again, as the pattern whisperer, when he looks at it, guys, he sees it before it's even forming. He just knows it's happening. And he's going to share with you exactly how he does what he does. All right? What did Robert put in there? I bought a January call on Amazon, now thinking maybe I should get some puts to hedge. Possibly. I mean, listen, Robert, we're in a very precarious point with Amazon right now. I'm long shares. I've got naked puts on it, covered positions. I've got a bunch of different trades open on Amazon right now, right? I'm holding Amazon for long haul. I didn't buy any long-term options, long-term directional options. I didn't do anything with that at all, right? So everything was with the understanding that this is what we're going to see. And actually tonight, Robert, in Trading You, I'm going to go over splits. That's our topic for tonight, trading through splits. So I can give everybody some understanding of exactly what happens through that period. All right. So with that, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. Take care, everybody. I will see you at our next update. All right. Bye for now.